My name is Sparkle and I'm reading Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton, and we are on chapter 15. The saucepan man goes to the wrong land. Mother and the children stared at the funny old saucepan man as he came up to the gate. He wore an extra large saucepan for a hat, and as he came he knocked two pans together and sang a funny nonsense song that went like this. 2 peas for pudding, 2 cherries for a pie, 2 legs for a table with a high hiddly high. At the last high he banged on the door with the saucepan. Mother opened it. "Don't make such a noise," she said. "No, I haven't seen any boys," said the saucepan man. He clashed his pans together so loudly that Mother jumped. Then he caught sight of the children and waved to them eagerly. "Oh, hi there! Moonface told me where you lived." "Whoever is he?" said Mother. "Children, is this funny old man all right?" "Oh, yes," said Joe, hoping that Mother wouldn't ask too many questions. "Can we please take him into the garden and talk to him, Mother? He makes such a noise indoors." "Oh, very well," said Mother, who wanted to get on with her washing. "Take him along." "A song?" said Saucepan Man, obligingly. "Did you say you wanted a song, madam?" He began to sing again and crashed his pans in time to his song. 2 pigs for a pantry, 2 sheep for a horse, 2 hats for tigers, pink ones of course. The children hustled him quick into the back garden. "That's a very, very silly song of yours," said Bessie loudly, right in his ear. "What's it called?" "It hasn't got a name," said Saucepan. "I make it up as I go along. It's quite easy. Every line but the last one begins with the word 2. I'm sorry if you think it's silly." He looked rather offended. "Don't be cross," said Joe, trying to put things right. "Moss?" said the saucepan man, looking round. "I wouldn't sit on it, but I couldn't see any moss to sit on it." "Oh, he can't hear us again," said Joe. "I wonder why he's come to see us." Most expectantly, the saucepan man heard and he grinned. "I've come to ask you all to tea in my cottage," he said. "Do come." "Will Mr. What's-his-name be there?" said Joe, who wasn't at all anxious to meet him again. "I said, Mr. What's-his-name be there," said Joe loudly. "There's something in the air," said Saucepan Man, and he looked up anxiously. "Not in a thunderstorm," said Joe with a groan. "Yes, we'll come. We must ask Mother first." Mother said they could go, though she still wasn't very much liking the look of the old saucepan man. "Good day," she said to him as he went off with the children. "What, hey?" said the saucepan man in surprise, but the children wouldn't let him stop and argue about hay, so they dragged him off and down the lane, clanking and crashing as saucepan man's moving around him. You could hardly see if he was dressed in any coat or trousers, because he was covered in pans and kettles. He looked most peculiar sight, but he had such a twinkly sort of face, and the 3 children couldn't help but like him and trust him. They soon came to the faraway tree and saw that Moonface had thought of a marvellous idea. He had borrowed Mother Washalot's biggest washing basket and had let it down the rope. Then, as soon as they were all safely in it, him and Silkie began to pull them up and save them with the big long climb up the tree. "Oh, that's such a good idea," they said, delighted. They all climbed in, but it was a bit difficult to get Mr. Saucepan Man in too, but they managed at last, though he seemed to find it a bit uncomfortable to sit on all his pans. "Up we go," shouted Joe as the basket swung upwards through the branches. It ran very smoothly, and the children enjoyed the strange ride. At last they came to a big branch and stepped out on it. It was quite near Moonface's house at the top. Moonface was there winding up the rope and grinning with his big shiny moon face. "How did you like that?" he asked the saucepan man, looking at him anxiously. "Cat? There's another cat? Oh dear me, I hope it won't escape into my land. I've got mice there." "Now, he'll go looking off for cats again," said Bessie. And sure enough, the saucepan man began to peer around here and there, calling, "Puss, puss, puss." "Oh, never mind," said Moonface, going up the ladder. "He wants you to go to tea with him in his funny saucepanny house." "Come on, saucepan man," cried Joe. "If you want us to come to tea, we'd better go." The saucepan man heard. He stopped looking for cats and ran up the ladder with a bound. He was through the hole in the cloud right above, and no sooner had he gone out of sight than he began to yell, "Oh, oh, wah!" The children listened in alarm. "Whatever was the matter?" said Joe. "Crash, bang, clang, smash." "It sounds as if he's rolling about on his kettles and pans," said Bessie. "What can he be doing?" "Oh, wah!" shouted the saucepan man above him. "Stop it! Ow, stop it!" "Someone must be attacking him," said Joe. He leapt up the ladder. "Come on, everybody. We'll soon have to send these enemies off." He shot up the ladder, followed by Bessie, Fanny and Moonface, and they all clambered through the hole into the cloud and stood in the land above. But oh my goodness me, it was no longer the land of the saucepan man, that tiny little cloud country. It was another land altogether. "My land's gone!" screeched Saucepan Man. "I didn't know it had. This is somewhere else. Oh!" No wonder he said, "Oh." The big flat field he was standing on suddenly gave a shiver like a jelly. And then, just as suddenly, it tipped itself up, so it made itself into a hill. The saucepan man rolled down at top speed, all of his pans clattering like milk churns on a railway station. "This is the rocking land," said Moonface in dismay. "Quick, come back to the ladder and get down the hole before we've forgotten where it is. Hey, saucepan man, come over here to us." "A bus?" shouted the saucepan man, picking himself up and looking round. "I can't see a bus. I'd like to catch one." "Come here to us," shouted Joe. Us. "The hole through the clouds is here. We must get down again quickly." The saucepan man began to roll downhill again. But the ground all around suddenly tipped backwards, and he and the children and Moonface found themselves rolling downhill, away from the hole in the clouds where the previous ladder had been. They tried to stop. They tried to walk back up the sudden hill, but the land tipped up, and the more it did, the more that they couldn't stand up, but they had to lay down. They began to roll downhill. How they rolled, over and over and over, with the saucepan man making a frightful clatter with his pans. "Ow!" cried everyone at once. "We've lost the hole!" shouted Joe. But before he could say any more, he bumped into a bush that knocked all of the breath out of him. Soon everyone lay in a heap at the bottom of the hill and tried to get their breath. "Now we're in a fix," said Bessie, dusting herself. "What a very tiresome land we've come into. Does it do this sort of thing all the time, Moonface?" "Oh yes," said Moonface. "It never stops. It heaves up here and sinks down there and rocks to and fro and gives sudden little jerks. People do say there's a giant just underneath trying to throw the land off his back."